Chris, how was your pee break?
My pee break?
They might flash you undetected.
Random, baby.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me. Quite an intro.
Let's address the elephant in the room. That's not the elephant in the room. There's no elephant. Nobody cares.
I too am a thought criminal.
Good. Well, I like you already.
Does this look like a girl who's joking around?
No.
But how much do you actually understand money? Especially the new wave.
Beauty or intelligence? When you unleash both, it is men's kryptonite. Welcome to Talk to Me, Taylor. Hey, everybody. I am going to address these first words on this Monday to none other than JCL in the comments over on YouTube, who said, "Hey, Taylor, first time catching a full live show of yours. I am so glad to have you here, and I'm just going to tell you out of the gate, JCL. Here, I'll put up the comment right here because receipts or it didn't happen. It's gonna be a hot mess. You guys can probably hear my voice shaking, and I'm still very much not okay. I'm just trying to process everything, and as I told you guys earlier on Instagram, there was a part of me that just wanted to not do the show tonight altogether. And you guys were all so amazing and gave me such awesome words of encouragement that I thought, Taylor, pull your shit together. And, maybe it'll make some of you all feel like seen and heard, because I know so many of us are just having a hard time, like I said, processing and even speaking words and capturing our thoughts. So I'm going to do my darned well best. And David Gockstein, I apologize in advance that you just signed me to your network, and I am not normally this depressing. Like, he's probably like, who is this sad bitch day after day? I swear I'm normally not. I'm going through it. I literally actually just before this, I just popped a couple Tylenol, have barely eaten, stomach still in knots. My hair is just a frizz ball. I did not have the will to, I did show up, but I did not even style it today. And, it is also a good thing that my background here is a little bit of like a padded insane asylum, because that's pretty much where I need to be admitted at this point. Something I wanted to do tonight was a little bit different and that I'm actually very excited about if I can get through this. JCL, yeah, we're all still reeling from Wednesday's horrific tragedy. Yeah, I am just not well. And I know so many people, both public figures and not, it's just hitting us so hard. And I'm just, again, I know I keep repeating it, that I'm just really not okay. And, I'll get to this in the end, not to be doomsday, but just why we should all just be terrified. And again, you guys know, like, I have given my life's work to the ability to be free and speak freely and express ourselves freely. And I'm just reeling and completely gutted at the whole thing. And, I said this too on Instagram, like, I really envy the people who are so methodical and so together, like all of these, whatever you want to call them, hosts, anchors, who are so like bam, bam, bam. And I'm just literally so lost in the sauce, like in the abyss. And honestly, guys, I know that everybody is like, this is a time to like stand up and do what's right. And again, it's like my whole life's work has been for this, and seeing it just shot down so brutally. There's a part of me that's just so defeated. And that's just literally like, what is the point? Like, what is the fucking point? But what I'm doing today, I'm doing the weave doing the weave. I'm not wearing my weave, but I'm doing the weave like Trump. Today's a little bit different because I was supposed to have a couple notable guests. And understandably, everybody's going, everyone's just handling it in their own way. They're going, we need some time, or everyone's on their own timeline. So I thought, I'm going to do something different tonight, and I'm going to make you all my guests. And, I always, as I do the show, my show is 5. I've had my platform for 10 years. Somebody so close to me who's been my greatest mentor and ally always said, lead with, because there'd be times where I'd be scrambling, not like this, obviously, but when it's almost like scraping for news stories, like, I don't know, it's kind of all the same stuff. He always said to me, lead with whatever is just weighing heaviest on your heart and on your mind. And I'm sure similarly with all of you guys, I can't help but just be all consumed with and really it seems like there's just this unleashing and revival and reckoning around faith. So I'm going to get really open about it. And I'm going to get to that in the end. Hang on. JCL here says, Candace shared an important message from legendary talk radio host Michael Savage the other day. Check it out if you haven't already. I have not, JCL, but I do have thoughts about what she is doing and why there are serious problems and issues. Like, there's something really wrong with this woman. But again, even that, like, I'm just so cautious of everything that I say because I don't want to sound like them. Both sides are so inflammatory and dehumanize the other, just screaming. And I'm really trying to be cognizant of, like, do not fall into that trap, because it's so easy to be like, you're unhinged. Although some people are certifiably unhinged. But we're going to get to her in a second. So yes, that's just where I wanted to start out with, is just feeling honestly really lost. And to be honest with you guys, feeling like another voice in the void, like so many people are just screaming, and we're constantly seeing it scrolling. And Sam Arms, who's a friend of mine, he's been on the show. He's a political strategist, very smart. He said something to me that struck me, and I can't unsee it and I can't get it out of my head. But he said the reason that Charlie Kirk was so effective, I'm sorry, I can barely even make eye contact with you right now. I am struggle bus fucking city. All right, here we go. Me and you, Taylor, head in the game. The reason that Charlie Kirk was such a force, and obviously, like, you see, the fact that they're doing, thousands are pouring in the streets overseas, like doing tributes at professional sporting games, like just all of that, right? The impact. And he said Charlie Kirk had the infrastructure that other people who just talk don't. He was in there, and as a kid really started a movement to motivate and change hearts and minds of the youth, of the masses, going to talk to these kids, starting these, like, chapters in all of these schools. And the Chris Cuomos, the Tucker Carlsons, the whoever's, they can't say that shit. I can't even say that. And there's a part of me, guys, that's really going, like, not to be self-indulgent right now, because we're going to move on. I just want to tell you exactly where I'm at. It feels like that. It's really existential. That's like, what the fuck have I been doing? Like, talking behind a computer this whole time. Like, I love being with people and with the masses. And I feel just like, I don't want to say a fraud, but I just feel like the last 10 years have been wasted. Like, I wish that I had been more like a Charlie Kirk. And I think it's so admirable. And I'm almost tossing it out to you guys. Like, how do I do it? What do we do? Because I won't, again, let it be in vain and let it be wasted. But it's something I'm really kind of wrestling with and grappling with, of like, what have I been doing? And that's really the way to do it, is to be with the people, amongst the people, face to face. It's such a beautiful thing. Someone who I want to get on your radar, by the way, who captured this really well, he is, and I think he's like a thought leader. This man, I'm sorry if I butcher his name, Kaizen Azidu. Yeah, just look him up. But he's been absolutely killing it on X, and he captured this very sentiment, which was doing what I do and in the similar line of work. Like, it's just, and how I'm doing it. Like, I think we're all just reevaluating, and it's just such a shock to the system, and something that just can't be shaken off, and really almost like a bullet to speech, to what we do, the mechanism, how we do it, how we reach you guys, and just really feeling, all I can say is lost in it. Here's another one from JCL. And I love the comments. Always keep them coming. That's why I do this. Shit, I was so close. I told you I was so close to being like, I'm gonna call it quits today. Nobody wants to see this frisball just ramble on and on incoherently. But so keep the comments coming. Okay, this is more about Savage. Okay, thank you, JCL, for that. So before I get more into the faith conversation, because again, it's just been I just can't stop thinking about it and what I've seen and how I too have felt, not even being a particularly religious person, but being a very spiritual person. I'm sure like many of you. Forgive me in advance for repeating these examples. I tend to have a little bit of a those who know me and who are close to me, I have a bit of a compulsive and obsessive mind where I just repeat things. And before I get to, because like I said, sorry, I keep holding out, like you would think it's our first date all over again. When I said I want you guys to be my guests tonight, I tossed it out on Instagram. Obviously, like I said, this has cracked something open when it comes to faith, religion, spirituality. We're seeing it just in droves across the board and feeling something personally. Like if you don't, you are literally Jack and Sally the Nightmare Before Christmas. Like, I don't even know, bitch. Like someone straight up sewed you up. And I don't even know if there's anybody in there because everybody's feeling it. So I tossed it out to you guys. Where are you at with it? How are you grappling with it? How are you feeling about it? Are you feeling it too? What are you making of all of it? So I want to thank you guys for reaching back out. And I heard from people from big influencers, Christian influencers, entrepreneurs, the everyday people. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a lowdown because again, I just want to try to actually make impact here and beat off a little bit of my existentialism of like, what is the fucking point? Who am I talking to? Is anybody there? Like what's happening? And capture that and be on the pulse of like what you guys are really feeling. So before that, again, back to my obsessed, I keep doing the weave today. I think I'm making up for not wearing my weave and having this horrible frizz ass hair. So I'm so sorry. But yes, I keep seeing more and more and more being unearthed about who Charlie Kirk really was and what he actually said about things. And I'm having a really hard time. Like, I just keep replaying them in my head. And I'm like, okay, how is somebody who said this being equivocated with this? Like, how, like, literally the fuck how? Literally, how do you see this and you get this and that it's indulged and pushed and rewarded? So, let me give you some examples. And again, the fact that I'm seeing this even with people like loved ones and family and people in my life, I'm literally just like repulsed. Like I don't know about you guys, my stomach has been in knots every moment since, even shit right now. Okay. But again, this is somebody who, again, it's like they're not even thinking, right? Just spewed out transphobic, racist, homophobic, fascist, da 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 da. And I saw the best tweet from Blair White that Elon Musk reposted. And it said, they don't kill you because you're Hitler. They call you Hitler so they can kill you. And that was like literally that part right there. And the fact that we've become so desensitized, I saw somewhere else, it's like all these words are just completely whitewashed. Like the fact that fascism is whitewashed. And I saw another post too that was like, I think it was Simona actually, Papadopoulos, and she and George are going to come on the show. Hopefully this week. They were supposed to come on last week. But it was basically like, this is again, like fascism is killing somebody who you don't agree with, that you're calling a fascist. Like what? And the fact that we become so desensitized and backwards, I think that's partially what I can't come to terms with. JCL, I'm feeling better than I was the first few days. Yeah, you know what's funny? JCL, exactly. Yeah, thank you. Is this sounds so crazy because I didn't know Charlie Kirk. And again, I'm not even a Christian conservative. But I feel like, and again, the fact that I even have to say this is despicable, but it's like coming at it from such a compassionate, common sense, humane point of view. I didn't even know this person. And I always, admired what he did. I'm learning more and more about him now. But the fact that I'm so same with you guys, like it feels like grief is what I'm trying to get at. Like some moments I'm okay, but then I'm noticing too, like this is just hitting so hard. Like, I'm trying to numb my brain and touch grass, like literally all weekend. That's all I did. And I don't know about you guys, but I can't even focus on anything. And that's how you know it's bad. I'm like, I can't even focus on whatever like Legally Blonde rom-com that I watched last night. Like, shit, you know it's bad when you can't even focus on the kitchen on Food Network prepping tailgate appetizers. All right. Like, it is just bad sauce. Bad news bears. But let me just reiterate some of these examples, because these are ones I know we're all flooded with it, but these are ones that, again, like, just help me wrap my head around this. Help me wrap my head around how these people they can't even, like I said, they can't even think straight, that they're so rooted in he's this. Like, you see this proof in the pudding, and it's like, how do you just not want to see it? And this is a conversation I got into earlier that I'm going to tell you about. But it's like, is the hate so deep rooted literally in your identity that you can't even see these examples and think otherwise? Like, is it just like, nope, block it out, this is what it is? Because when you see these, you're like, does this person have a working frontal cortex? Just how? So one example, okay, and again, these are just like, I was going to say bulletproof, but I feel like that's just too soon. The left has turned the term fascist into a meaningless statement. They try to define it, give it a very wishy-washy definition. That means nothing. Yeah. I'm going to, in the end, JCL, get to like the left versus the right in all of this. And I've alluded to it before, especially in the aftermath of all this. But here are some examples, okay? So, and again, I'm sorry for all my mumbling, stumbling, rambling, whatever this has been, like some sad Dr. Seuss, like reincarnated that nobody asked for. But if somebody in your life is going on with these things, again, that's just mindless and senseless and repeating something like a robot, that's literally like racist, show them these examples, because this is like how. So the trans thing, I saw him have a conversation with a very confused young trans person. I don't remember which way they were transitioning. And by the way, I'm not going to give you like verbatim, I'm just going to give you the Taylor explanation of all these. But he basically looks the person in the face and he says to them, like, it's so humane. And again, it's just everything he did watching it now had so much integrity and dignity. And the fact that he would say to people, maybe it was like people booing leftists or people on his side, he would be like, absolutely not. Like, do not boo. You treat them with respect. Even if we don't get that respect, you treat them with the respect that they deserve. That's what this is. That's civil discourse. And he looks this person in the face and basically says, let's get your mind right. Let's get you to where you feel good about how you were born and who you are. Is that not something you would want anybody to literally know? Who Lady Gaga born this way? I guess Lady Gaga and Charlie Kirk are one and the same. I mean, that's the message, right? Like, take care of your mind and feel good about who you are. Literally, that's basically what he says. He's not like, you need to go to conversion therapy. You're fucking crazy. You need to be you're mentally unhinged. You're mentally ill. He's literally like, foster and nurture and get back. Maybe that's professional help. I don't know what that is, but take care of your mind. I would want to know that. I would want my daughter, my friend, my sister, my whoever, like, who wouldn't want that message passed to somebody? Never mind somebody they love, never mind a fucking stranger. So that's one. So transphobic, I don't know, make the math, but then again, it doesn't. Okay, that he's racist. Couple examples here. One, you've probably seen by now the clip of him talking to the young Black mom holding her baby, and who's a Black baby. And he's like, your little angel here, like some just going on and on about the sweet, precious angel that is the Black baby. Okay. Do you think Hitler would be like, what a beautiful, precious angel of a Jewish baby? I don't think so, bitch. Like, what are we talking about here? Another example, again, like the humanity in it. Another example is when, okay, this is really sad because this has been, again, where there's no context and there have been pieces torn out, where he's talking about civil rights. And what he says is that the civil rights movement, particularly for Black people, was such a beautiful thing and such a good thing that needed to happen. He goes on to say, now with DEI, with all, look, I may as well be a DEI with my half broken arm here on my green screen. Counterintuitive to what I'm saying here. No, but saying that now it's gone too far. Like civil rights, since when did civil rights mean like biological men can just willy-nilly enter a women's bathroom? Like what now? It's just, again, implementing. And he said something to the effect, I don't know if it was in this exchange, but that was like, because of DEI, because it's not meritocracy, because maybe Black people or women or whoever were behind, now it's just handed over these roles on a platter. So if I see a Black person, this, that, I'm going to wonder, bitch, I've thought the same thing. Should I go get shot today? I've said as a woman, I'm like, if it's any sort of like minority, if it's a woman, if it's this, it's that, I'm going to think twice. I've said before, even getting on a plane, okay, if I see somebody, I don't care what it is, with a snaggle tooth, with orange hair, with one pinky, I'm going to be like, can you land the plane though? Can you DEI hire or not? Should I get shot for that? When again, the basis of his thing is civil rights was such a beautiful thing that had to happen. And the fact that this has been taken out of context and run with, like the DEI part going too far, leaving out the entire thing of him backing, like, yes, we needed this, we're equal, it's important. Like, use this. I know it's hard, but use it. And if this example, I'll just do you one better, okay? So he is having a conversation about race. And he literally says that, tell me if this sounds like the verbiage of a racist. Okay? Just boil it down. Guys, this is kindergarten. This is kindergarten level. Oh, I can feel myself like coming back to life. Okay. Yes, JCL, I love it. I'm going to put up your comments here as I'm talking. He says that race is a social construct and literally says I think he's talking to a Black man. He's like, there is no difference between you and I. Race is a social contract, meaning like, isn't this like what everybody would want to hear? Like, what are we? It's if it weren't so sad, it would almost be laughable. The fact that this man is literally like Mother Teresa in this quote, in this regard. And I've watched them be like, okay, here's the last one. Did you guys see the one of him going head to head with the far, far right anti-gay extremist? And this man is on the microphone in one of the debates, young kid, and he's literally basically saying to Charlie, like, gay people are an abomination. They have no place in the conservative movement, in the church, this, that. Charlie Kirk literally says, and this is where Stephen King got his ass schooled too, literally says, look, first of all, I'm going to say this not ladylike, like, who the fuck are you? Do I think that marriage is a man and a woman? Yes. Do we have any right to put our ideas on people, exclude them, discriminate them, kick them out of our movement, of our party? Absolutely not. And the guy keeps insisting and doubling down, and he literally tells him, thank you for the time, but basically step the fuck off my stage. Okay. Like, again, is this a homophobe to you? How do you in good conscience, you could be half alive, how do you see this and genuinely think that he is all of these horrible things? Again, you didn't have to agree with everything he said. I've said it a million times. I don't agree with everything that he said. I bet he would disapprove that I was in Playboy, and it was like the highest honor and one of the greatest accomplishments of my life. But I can see all of this for what it is and respect it. And what makes me really sick is how you have articles now. Like, now we're not just talking like the Neanderthals and the bots and the whoever on social media. We're now talking high profile outlets like the New York Times, like outlets funded by George Soros and company, who are taking this and running this shit. I'm not even kidding. They should be ashamed. The New York Times in their obituary decided that this would be a good time to fact check Charlie Kirk about COVID. Like, are you guys okay? Well, he claimed that hydroxychloroquine, Like, are you literally okay? There was another article, I forget the publication funded by George Soros, but it was basically this. I think the woman was a Black writer, and she pulls out something that he says. Maybe it was about DEI going too far, or civil rights, like, now went too far with all these things that it didn't, like, was never the intended purpose. And pulled that out and used it to peddle the excuse that he was a racist. Like, It's just disgusting on all levels. I have no words for it. Yeah, JCL, you said it perfect. And that's why I'm here like a pretzel. These people engage in mental gymnastics. That is exactly what it is. Yes, I saw that vid of Charlie putting anti-gay, yeah, in his place. It was amazing. It was amazing. And again, it's like I think that's why I feel so bleak and in despair, because it's like this is the most, while he was so convicted and firm in his beliefs, many of which dealing with his faith, which we're going to get to now, it was the most respectful, dignified form of like letting people be who they were and giving them the space to be where they were at and engaging with them civilly and intelligently. And that was just shot down and killed. And now they're dancing on his grave. Like, I don't know, guys. I'm just having it hard. I'm going through it. I'm having a hard time. And again, it's what I said earlier. It's like, are these people so committed to it because they don't want to see it? Like, why wouldn't somebody just be like, let me just see it? Like, why? And that's like one of the conversations I got into earlier was like, is it so hating this guy or hating whoever? Is it so integral to your being and your personality? I'm trying to drop less F-bombs. Oh, hell yeah. Mixed take is in the chat from Australia, bitches. It's all whataboutism 101. The facts aren't even the facts and they're made up. Yeah, I just got chills reading that. But the fact that it's gone so far to where we see gruesome, bloody murder in front of our eyes and just can't outright be like, nope, and instead double and quadruple do the gymnastics down on it. I can't vomit enough times. But again, this is just how I just want to get into these examples really quick before I give you all what you've been waiting for about the faith conversation and religion. Is again how nonsensical and how this has all been so politicized without even thinking about it, even to bring it to a pop culture level. You guys may know if you read my Substack, I've been obsessed with Cat's Eye. They are the ones who went viral in the Gap ad. They're like the girl group right now, and they're all so feminine and so hot, and they're all different races and ethnicities. Like, they're so talented. I'm just obsessed. Like, they capture in my mind like raw sexuality and femininity that Gen Z has been dying for, aside from Sabrina Carpenter, who's also killing it in that. But one of the girls, I think there's 6 of them. Okay, this is how off of the rocker this whole thing has gone. Apparently, one of the girls who's Latina didn't follow this pro-Palestinian account that the other girls followed, and she's gotten trash for it. And they've taken it a step further, being like, oh, I think her parents like supported Trump, da da da. Remember 5 years ago when I talked about the woke eating itself? Like, are you guys well? This is a Latina female killing it on the world stage. You want to talk about representation, and now we're going to, like, for not following an account. Hey, Pyramid 7. Okay, now we have more people in the chat. Before JCL, it was just like intimate us, but you know, I kind of liked it. I kind of dug it. Another quick example, and again, just asinine, is that girl Hannah from, I think, the show Hacks. The Emmys were last night, which again, no one cares. Guys, I used to sit front row at the Emmys. I had no idea that they were even happening last night. Who cares? And this is precisely why. She went on to be like on the stage, like free Palestine, whatever. And then wait for it, okay? This is again how, like, use your head. Again, I'm all good for people coming from where they're at. Yeah, I know, JCL, right? About the Cat's Eye thing. It's insane. And I even said in previous episodes in the wake of all of this and in the aftermath, like, I can really respect and appreciate when someone thinks differently than I, because I'm also like, you're a free thinker. Cool. I like it. You're not in line with me. And you can actually have a brain cell that works. Cool. There are other times when it's like, I'm still allowed to judge it. I'm still allowed to judge it. And there still can be consequences. But it's mixed take. I know you've talked a lot about on Substack, and I want to kind of get to that in the end here, because again, it's like, I've grappled with this for a long time. Like, what's the line of like free speech is the Wild West and then shutting each other down like dominoes? But when is it warranted? We're going to get to all that. Okay. But this woman takes her moment on the stage to win an Emmys to go go Palestine, free Palestine. Okay, bitch. First of all, go there for 5 seconds and let me know how that goes. Secondly, Yeah, period. So yes, it was romantical. But you can always see it back on the replay and be part of it in the menage a trois. You're gonna love this. Okay. Apparently, Hamas or some pro-Hamas group used her speech as like, yay, activism for us, but blurring out her cleavage, her shoulders, her bare hair. Gotta be proud, Hannah. Gotta be proud, doing women and Hamas really proud out there. It's just like, hello. Another one before I move on. And I just want to say this quickly because I know a lot of you guys are grappling with this as well. Like, talk about the mental gymnastics, JCL, is how Candace Owens is going on and literally has taken 3.5 seconds to like in the wake of her very good friend's death. And I watched the episode she did and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful tribute to how she and Charlie Kirk were so close and were on the come up together and all of that. But has to, in the end, allude to billionaires, Israel, Bibi, whatever it is. I'm like, bitch, he's not even cold yet. Like, is his wife okay with this? And then today, probably simultaneously with this stream, she's going on with her cover is like exposing the lies with Bibi. It's just like, look, I think that your hard on for hating Israel has really like something is wrong with you. Like, it needs some looking at this point. But like, I had one of you write to me and it was so true. It was like, even if I don't agree, even if I think she's off the rocker, I can applaud her for speaking out and digging things up and all that. Like the Macron stuff, I love all of that. But it's like this to me just feels so gross and opportunistic and indulgent and inappropriate. Like, why? The girl said to me, one of my followers, like, I can't even process this. Never mind, like the BB Israel. Like, what are we doing? So, all right, that aside, I'm going to leave us hopefully in a higher place. And what I wanted to do starting 33 minutes ago was talk about faith. I'm going to just put up some of your comments here. Yeah, JCL, exactly. I used to love Candace. She's gone off the deep end. Every time I'm vocal about this, that's the response I get every time, no matter what walk of life, no matter politics, whatever it is. They're like, what actually happened? I actually had like, because I've always had such mixed feelings, and I always had especially like before all this with the Israel bashing and blaming Jews for literally like the way the wind blows, I had this vision of like she and I kind of collabing in some way or sitting down. And now I'm just like, girl, do you need to be put in this padded wall behind me here, virtual green screen? Like, I don't even know. Okay. So faith and religion. 7 minutes in heaven. This is going to be the last 7-ish minutes. Pun very much intended. So I have to say, I mean, I was in tears sobbing at Erica Kirk's eulogy. And you can't argue, no matter how religious you are, spiritual, that her and Charlie's as well when he was alive, their unwavering belief and being so rooted in their faith is so profound, and it's so moving, and it's so hard to not be affected by. Like, in light of all this, can you imagine? First of all, I'm like, how does she even, like, what an angel, the fact that she even was able to pull herself together to do this. Like, why I'm embarrassed even being in shambles myself doing episodes like this. I'm trying. Yeah, what is my excuse? She says our God is so good. Our God is so good. Like, she just watched her husband get brutally assassinated. Like, short of getting shot right in the head, I don't know what could have been more horrific. At 31 with 2 babies, doing what he loved, wearing a shirt that said freedom, holding the mic, having the thing that says prove me wrong, the tent, in front of her, I think. And she says, our God is so good. And I even saw a clip of, like, that's how unwavering their faith is in something bigger. She says, I know that there's a plan. I don't know. My human brain basically can't make sense of this, but I know that God has a plan. And Charlie, I know that you know the plan now. Like, I know that you know it. And she said, this is always, you're doing the Lord's work, literally. Like, we always just wanted to make heaven more crowded. And that's what you're doing. And I just thought that it was so beautiful. And I saw I thought of John Lennon too, JCL. Because right, we're reflecting upon all of the people who were shot for telling truth and having impact, um, massive impact. Um, and I saw a clip of his, and he's being asked, I'm sure you saw this by now, like, what do you want people to remember you by? How do you want people to remember you? And the number one thing he says is my faith. And it's why, I mean, it's just so powerful. Like, it is so powerful that it's like, and then he says family. And, again, even with all of these people I stated before, trans, gay, black, whatever it is, like, I feel like his message was always basically like, be a good person. Yes, he was very religious, like, follow Jesus and, that, but like, build a good life, build a legacy, and be a good person, But the fact that before any of that, even his own family, he was like, my commitment to my faith. And it makes me cry even thinking about it and just telling you like a little bit of my background because it might shed some light. So I am, for all intents and I'm very, very spiritual. I'm very much connected to something bigger. Like, I am not an atheist, non-God by any means. Like, I always believe in something bigger. I believe it's not done once I don't know that we've ever gotten this deep on Talk to Me, Taylor. I love it though. I don't believe it's done once we're gone. I believe we just change form and that energy can't be killed and we're reunited with our loved ones. Like, I really do believe that. And I believe in all the signs. I know on Instagram over the weekend, I talked about getting woo-woo and seeing the meaning and messages and everything, but I'm so connected and so intuitive and so believe in that. I am a Jew. You could see the Star of David here, and how I was raised. My mom was Catholic and my dad was Jewish, and very much kind of libertarian, live and let live. I love it. To come to think of it from the beginning, they were like, whatever resonates more with you. And I pursued Judaism, and I don't have any regrets about that. I love how just what it stands for. Again, similarly, like being just a really good person and believing in something bigger, and again, having that faith. And I think for me, like, I'll be honest, what kind of, I don't want to say wigged me out, and I know this is very sensitive. Someone wrote on my Instagram, like, just be delicate when you're talking about it, when I called to you guys to chime in. Yeah, pyramid, there is something bigger than us. What wigged me out about Christianity was how, specifically, I think Catholicism is how it felt so much of like living in guilt and repent and all of that. But I think putting a face to it, like a hymn sitting up there and a Jesus, I couldn't like put the confines, like I couldn't confine my mind to that. Like, I think putting a face, I was just like, I can't like personify it, and I always admired people who did. And someone said to me, and it's a conversation that still strikes me, which is, sure, that like, do I think Jesus died and resurrected? I don't know. But someone said to me, like, we don't know. So who's to say that their faith is any crazier than yours? And I can't get that out of my head. This was years ago. I'm like, that's so true. Like, I believe in what I believe. So they believe Jesus died and resurrected in front of our eyes. Like, how? I don't know. And the hell was a little too soon and on the nose. I'm sorry. But you've seen just the outpour of, I mean, I've seen people post, I've been an atheist for 30 years. I haven't been to a church in 20 years. I've never been religious. And I'm talking, I've seen comments after comments. I went to church for the first time this Sunday. I bought a Bible for the first time. Guys, even I was like, well, shit, are they onto something here? Like, it is so powerful that it's like, even in the darkest hours and times, it's like, nope, the faith that there's light and it's all for a purpose and it's all for a reason. And the fact that, again, it's awakened something within all of us. Like, I was like, do I go to temple this weekend? Even this morning, I asked ChatGPT, I was like, I want to get more acclimated with the Bible. Show me a Bible verse and a Torah verse. And I think that's really speaks volumes, and that's huge. And it's so creepy to me and so crazy that his movement was called Turning Point, because it's like, maybe he didn't even see it, but it's like, this is the turning point, So I want to get to some of your responses when I took to you about how what your temperature is when it comes to faith and religion, and all of it. One conversation that I had was with an entrepreneur who is a badass and very much like I don't want what is it? Like I was talking with her about all this. I said, I feel like I need to do something more. I'm not okay just sitting behind a computer. Like, do we do something at one of your venues? I can moderate these dialogues. Like, do we do something? Do we bring it to the people? And she's been like a self-starting, almost like a pioneer, like starting stuff up that's new and inventive. And she said she just busted out crying, and we talked about all this, and she was just like, Taylor, and again she's like, I'm not particularly religious. She said, I've started things so many times as a leader. I'm just in the mode right now where I just have to follow. Like, I'm so at a loss. I can't even digest. I can't even make sense of it. And she said, whether that's getting involved with the Turning Point here, whether that's going to church one day, like just something. And again, this is from someone, she was like, I'm not even particularly religious. Like, that's how much it's moved people. I had one friend of mine who reached out. She's a influencer. She's a Christian influencer. And she said how Charlie Kirk was so, yes, he was so rooted in the Bible and the gospel of Jesus and his beliefs. But he believed that this was not a theocracy, that it was a republic, that we all had a right to our own beliefs. And that even like with the gay men examples that I gave you here, she's like, he said, like, it's not on us to forcibly put our beliefs and values on other people. I'm merely spreading what I think life's about and what can make your life better. But it's not our place to be like contrary to the stigma of like the Bible thumping finger waggers, all of that. He believed, that wasn't our place. I had one woman reach out to me who, first of all, invited me to church here, which was very sweet. I may take you up on that. And I remember going to a church here when I first moved here. And I was like, I'm in new experiences. I'm in a new place, a new lease on life. Let me just try it. And again, why I couldn't get behind the like specificity of like the Jesus verbiage per se, I was really moved. I think I cried at one point. Again, the just what it, the community of it, the belief in it, the higher, just all of it was really beautiful. But this person said, that all of these things about Christianity and Jesus are so kind of politicized and thrown around by the left and demonized and this. But she says, I feel like we don't even really we're not really taught these things. Like even the specificity of like marriage, like she basically says it doesn't really get past like 101. So I thought that was interesting too, like the discrepancy there, how these things are thrown around. It's kind of what we're talking about on the whole, right? And at large, it's like these big ideas thrown around, but no one's really like in the nuance. And lastly, I just thought that this was so powerful. I wanted to save the best for last. A friend of mine, he and his wife are also Christian influencers and media personalities. He said that his wife, since speaking out about this, has 10,000 people unfollow her. And just again, the discrepancy there, it's like, what did you think that we were about? Did you think that we were just about pro murder in the streets of a good person? Like, what are we talking about? And this part is what really struck me the most, is that he even said, like, after pursuing Christianity, I think I'm dealing with this much more level-headed and rationally and calmly than I would have prior, and basically gives love and compassion to Charlie Kirk's assassin. Can you imagine that? It's like Erica Kirk being like, our God is so good. Like, that's how deep their faith is. He's like, that God, whatever it is, will have a plan for this man, and ultimately forgive with his love, and basically like give this assassin the love or whatever it is he didn't get here on earth. Like, just take a moment and think about that. That is unconditional love. And it's really beautiful. So with that said, now that I preach the gospel here on Talk to Me, Taylor, with all of that, again, like, why I really believe in all this, like, I'm seeing more and more the anger and the dehumanization on both sides, and to just try, if you can, to stay away from that, because I just don't think that it serves us. Who would, it's bad when Talk to Me, Taylor, it sounded like goddamn Mother Teresa, okay? That's how you know it's a bleak situation. And again, the point, the mere fact that we should all be absolutely terrified right now. I'm not trying to scare you guys, but it's like, what if the gun were pointed the other way around? What if the gun were pointed at you? for what you believed, and on top of it, for doing it civilly. Here's my last comment from Mixtake. When progressives don't acknowledge that in the West, our liberal values have Judeo-Christian roots. These beliefs sticking around aren't predicated on believing in a higher power. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the other thing too that I'm seeing right across the board. And we kind of got into this in the thick of it when I did the live stream as it was happening. And again, it's kind of this like polarizing and inflammatory thing to be like, it's a spiritual war. But that's something one of these people said, which is like, this is so beyond politics. This is spiritual, religious, if you want to call it, what's humane, humanity. Sorry, I couldn't find the word. And I just think, look at what's happening and take it upon yourself. If you're being called, like, I don't know about you, it's like I'm calling people I haven't called in years. Like, just do it. Last one here by Pyramid 7, Spiritual Violent. Oh, geez. Pyramid 7. I was just going out on like a kumbaya no, and I think you're a he. I don't know. Violent queer marks. I mean, yeah. And I saw JD Vance. This is the last thing I'll say because I have to go. I know Rob is doing his show, but I saw JD Vance speak this morning on Charlie's show, and I thought that it was really beautiful. And again, it makes me feel like a fool. I'm like, these people have it so together. And he talked to Susie Wiles and he talked to RFK Jr., and he gave stats as to why the left is more increasingly okay with political violence and violence of this nature and how it doesn't go both ways. And Blair White, same thing. She was like, and it's easy to do a both sides. I just don't like the dehumanization of both sides, and he gives the stats, like I said, but Blair White says, like, what side is getting the bullets? What side is receiving the bullets? And that's something I also couldn't unsee or unhear. But guys, thank you as always for bearing with me. Yeah, this is perfect. Oh my God, I couldn't even write this. Pyramid 7 came back and my sad little ending. Thank you for bringing that smile to my face. And thank you guys also for being in the comments so I don't feel like a fucking loser. He said, oh my God, I'm sorry. We should all keep our chins up and stay positive. Even if that is sarcastic, I will take it in all of its glory. And the last thing that I do want to say here, guys, with faith, with all of it, is even if I'm feeling bleak, even if I'm feeling existential, it's like, if you don't have faith, then what do you have? So I appreciate you all. Hopefully I will see you tomorrow, and anything else you need, you know where to find me. In the meantime, I'll see you next time. Chris, how was your pee break?
My pee break?
It might flash you on TikTok.
Random baby.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Quite an intro.
Let's address the elephant in the room. That's not the elephant in the room. There's no elephant. Nobody cares.
But I too am a thought criminal.
Good. Well, I like you already.
Does this look like a girl who's joking around?
No.
Around?
But how much do you actually understand money? Especially the new wave.
Beauty or intelligence? When you unleash both, it is men's kryptonite. Welcome to Talk to Me, Taylor.